busy days here at FEFCO in Lyon, and I'm now talking to Victor from BHS.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Victor, life cycles, that is your business, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, life cycle, it sounds so encouraging. Tell us a little bit, what is it?
Well, we at BHS, we claim that we are our customer's life cycle partner, and that really means for us being the partner from the startup of the corrugator or other BHS equipments until the end of the machine's life cycle. And the corrugated board industry is a very intense industry in the sense of production procedures, in the sense of importances of resource management, cost management, process management. And our aim with our lifecycle solutions is to identify with customers their problems along the life cycle. They can vary from customer to customer, but also from life cycle period to life cycle period, and find solutions so that we as BHS really fulfill our claim to be the life cycle partner.
So that, if I understand you right, that means, of course, solving the actual problems when they occur, but also to understand the customer's general problems so you can take it back to R&D to make sure that the next iteration of product development takes all these input into consideration. Is that also?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I think we really understood that the one aspect is fighting the symptoms. That's the short-term solution so that the customer feels an improvement. But the other one is really looking at the root causes and then finding a solution so that we will not have other customers experience the same problem, but find and develop maybe technical solutions, maybe digital solutions, or maybe just process improvements that our technicians, when they are on site, how they conduct the business, have to apply. And so there's a manifold ways to improve.
Before we turn on the camera, we spoke a little bit about the challenges of getting qualified labor. For those who have not seen a corrugator, I mean, they are really, really big machines, right? When you look at least the machines I have seen from you guys, how many people typically work on a machine to make it to be fully functional?
Well, we say to run a corrugator on average, we would say you have to have 5 to 6 people on the shift. You have operators in the wet end, you have operators in the dry end, you need experienced lead operators in the control room who can change the parameters, but also are experienced in working with the digital assist systems, because working with data and taking decisions in those processes becomes more and more important. And this is pretty much the situation that we realize that our customers are facing, to have stable shifts. I mean, many of our customers, even now, demand of the end customers maybe has gone down in certain industries a bit. Our customers are still producing 2, 3, some even 4 shifts in a week. So it's a simple math by the amount of people they need in the sense of qualified staff. And we received quite some requests from customers over the last 2, 3 years. How can BHS help us with the struggle of finding qualified staff? And we, as a lifecycle partner, have a very big portfolio of training offerings, which is the fundamentals. So we do practical trainings, classroom trainings, but we also do and emphasize on-site trainings. And since last year, we started a new service, our operations support, which really means that BHS built up an own operations team that can support customers in covering their production. We can take over a complete shift for them. We can only provide single operators if they need to complete shifts for a stable business. This is our holistic understanding of being a life cycle partner, to really understand and provide flexible solutions for the customer needs.
I would like to talk about that a little bit more in a second, but I have a question before, because I mean, I spoke to your colleague Armin about his issues when it comes to security and that kind of thing. And we spoke about that sometimes BHS have machines that are 25 years old in the market. When you look back at the very old machines, were they also able to be operated with only 5, 6 people, or is that something where you see a change towards smarter setup, faster changeovers, more automation in that part, so you limit the labor requirements, or how has that changed over years?
Well, of course, the technology has progress has been there. So we have a lot of automation systems in the corrugator that assist the lead operator or the other operators. But in the end, there's still paper to be put into the machine. There's still, when we look at our machines, they are 150 meters to 180 meters to 200 meters long. You need people at the different places at the moment for some adaptations to interfere in the process.
I understand. I was just thinking that if you look at something that I know a little bit more about is similar sizes like newspaper printing machines, right? Then you see them, 15 years ago you had like 20 person working on a machine. Today you have 4 person working on them. So I was just wondering if there was let's say a change in labor demand in order to have these big machines. Because the reason I'm asking is just because, if you look at people investing in new corrugators, as one thing is the life cycle, of course, but you also look at the ROI and the capital, human capital that you need to put into a machine in order to make it profitable. So I was just wondering if you see, let's say, a productivity gain because the machines are getting faster and better. So that was my question.
That's true, but at the same time, for producing corrugated board, it's still the same number. If you produce board, you need someone to put in the reels right now.
So basically, the thing is basically that the increased productivity comes because the machine gets faster, absolutely, but you still need 5 people in handling it, basically.
The approach of BHS as part of the Box Plan 25 strategy is to reduce the overall amount of people that we need in the box plant by integrating this inline digital printing and by developing BHS intralogistics systems to automate the paper supply. We're not yet there that the paper is automatically, completely automatically going into the machine. So we still need an operator to observe what's happening. But it's only a minor step, and we will see a solution for this in a couple of years.
Which, of course, is interesting. And it's also interesting because when we talk about the BHS life cycle support system that you're doing, and also what you talked about, that you can basically handle an entire plant for your customers in case it's needed. Is that a trend you see, that more and more people would like to have it as I was just about to say total variable cost rather than having a lot of, let's say, fixed cost, fixed employee cost and all that, to have it more like a variable cost?
We were surprised by the high demand for our operations service when we started it last year. For us, it was an experiment, and we're now really in the scaling process. So this is a very positive signal from the market, from the demand side. On the other side, we also have certain customers that from their company culture are not in, not yet, I might say, thinking about how can I have a service provider always in my own plant. They still have the attitude, I want to manage it my own. And this is where our operation support remains flexible. If there is a fluctuation, if there is an illness, if
so
there is
also do
vacation
it on that
break,
level, basically.
We also support for weeks, months. It's very flexible. Always on availability. Currently, operation support is available in Europe, but we're working on finding solutions for the US and Asian market as well.
Is the company and the product lifecycle kind of thing what we talk about here, is that something that is a competitive advantage? Because even though you're maybe the biggest or second biggest in the market, still competition there, right? So is that something that is unique from your value proposition side, or is it more and more normal in the corrugated industry? Or
I'd say the way we design it, or we try to design it, we want to keep it as a unique selling proposition and a unique value proposition for our customers. Meaning, when we're talking about spare parts, when we're talking about technicians, what you get from BHS is more than just the human resource, one technician. It's more than just the part. It is the whole organization behind it. Over the last 2 years, when many suppliers had difficulties with the supply chains, of course we also had difficulties, but still we encountered our suppliers as BHS with a large scale of customers in the background, which gave us a lot of negotiation power. With our technicians, they are interlinked in communication. We are ensuring that they share experiences. We build up a knowledge database so that we can reach a faster troubleshooting when there's a problem. All things that other service providers coming, maybe not from the corrugated board industry, who are just supplying the technician, they don't have this advantage. So I'd say the value comes from the package, but not only from the single factor that's in it.
Fantastic. Thank you, Victor.
Thank you very much.
Good talking to you.